Yeah. 2026, what up? Ow! Something funky for the one time. Because I know my father would dig this music. Can you dig it? Yeah. You know I gotta let it play for a little second, you know. Uh-huh. I like it. Bum, 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 bum. Greetings and salutations, people. It is your boy, Heavy Mack, and welcome back to the Heavy Thoughts Podcast. Round of applause for yourselves, for you being here, for you being all of you, yes, you over there, and you over there. It's good to see y'all. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. If you thought I was going to bring you a podcast the day after New Year's, let me tell you something. Sadly mistaken. Respectfully, sadly mistaken. Because, see, I'm doing this thing called life, right? And I made a choice to join life with another person and then make life. And I have a little person. And just because you get days off from your job does not mean that life will afford you the opportunity to do what you want to do or move how you want to move, because you got to check with people. You see what I'm saying? Like, I got to check with the boss man. And by the boss man, I mean my daughter, if I can do a podcast. And she was like, not during the holidays, Daddy. No, not during the holidays. You can't go. Because baby girl needs all your time and attention. And I'm like, all right, baby girl, you got it. I ain't going to press it too hard. So forgive me for not coming up live last week. Oh, my God. Hold on. Let's turn that down. We shouldn't have volume. My bad. It's so unprofessional. But it's letting you know. It's just where I'm at with it. Forgive me for not bringing on the pod last week. I honestly wanted to really, spend time with family. As you know, and if you don't, for the first time listeners, because shout out to the Heavy Mack, it's just Heavy fan page on Facebook. It's gaining some traction. Congratulations to me. A little more round of applause. We just crossed over as of now, January 9th, 2026 at 11:30 p.m. We just crossed over to over 600 people rocking with me, and that's amazing. I take none of it for granted. I remember starting the page thinking, it might be a few people, but, the dad jokes, the motivations, and just, people locking in to really wanting to see what I got going on as far as a creative. I'm not the social media influencer. I'm too old to really appreciate that title because I don't think it's a real job yet. Like, I don't think you can bank or hang your hat on something that's controlled by how many clicks and views you can get, because when you start doing that, that's when you fall victim to just doing and saying anything just to make sure you keep the views on you. And I think people who are social media influencers, respect to them, with all due respect to them, they get paid to keep people distracted. They get paid to keep people watching their phones or staring at their tablets or staying on the computers and all of that. And they're showing you their versions of how they're living life in front of a camera, but not in front of your eyes. You see what I'm saying? Like, unless you've seen it in real time, it's just stuff to keep a distraction. And I fall victim to it too. It's an unfortunate double-edged sword for me, because I was talking to wifey, and I make mention of, she hears me talk about how I can't stand social media all the time. Like, I'm not a fan of it. And she was like, yeah, but you do all of this stuff for creating and this. I said, I'm a creator. Like, I love to create. Like, I love making something out of nothing. I love utilizing my voice. I love, splicing and putting stuff together. I love making videos. I love making edits. And, I'm trying to get better about this audio version stuff. Like, I love all of it. I get lost in this shit. The reason why I do these podcasts when I do them is because I can't do it during the day. My daughter would not let me talk. She would be all in the microphone, screaming, yelling, singing new versions of the Jungle Book song. It's the bare necessities of Mother Nature's recipes. Because you got to get the young ones on the classics. It can't be trolls. I can't do trolls all day. She got to come up on Jungle Book, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King. And by the way, just a question. Just do your homework for you. Do the homework for yourself. What is your top 5 Disney movies, animation of all time? Top 5. I'm going to tell you mine right now. A lot of y'all motherfuckers ain't going to like it, and that's okay because fuck y'all. Gotta go with the Jungle Book. I fuck with the music, man. It's magic. And Aladdin is number 2. This is no particular order how I rank them, but these are just my top 5 Disney movies. Jungle Book, Aladdin, Lion King. If you born in the 80s, you love Lion King. It's in your top 5. I don't care how you slice it. Goofy movie, because a lot of people sleep on Goofy movie, man. A lot of people sleep on Goofy movie. And as far as my 5th one, let me see. Honestly, this is gonna sound weird, but for me, y'all ain't gonna like it. Lion King 1.5. Yeah, Timon and Pumbaa, they did it for me. That's my top 5. What say you? Feel free to drop me a line, shoot me an email, just let me know your top 5 Disney movies of all time. No Pixar, no Disney and Pixar, no DreamWorks, strictly the mouse. Just the mouse. Nobody else. Feel free to shoot me that information at It's Just Heavy, Sir Heavy Mack on TikTok, Heavy Mack on IG, or heavymack@outlook.com. All means and ways of communication and connection with your boy. Much appreciated. But back to the original thought. So checking in with baby girl, making sure that I can do this stuff, and I record it at night because it affords me the opportunity of literally having the house to myself, and I can focus in so I can create something that I feel is just beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And I got limited resources, limited time, but I love this shit. I love it. I love getting text messages from my dog down in Florida. Shout out to DG, who, tells me, hey, man, sitting on back patio, I had coffee in one hand, cigar in the other, bumping the podcast. For real. Yo, what you think I should change? Nah, bro. Keep being you. Keep being raw. Keep being real. Don't ask my opinion. I just want you to keep showing up as yourself. My homie down in ATL, she's a different case. See, she liked the drama. You know what I'm saying? She liked the relationship shit, and she want to talk about, relationships and why men can't get it right and why people can't get along. Listen, with all due respectfully, there's a season for that. There's a season for conversations. Life is bigger than trying to get your dick wet or your vagina filled with your permanent penis, or finally stuffing that lifelong vagina. It's more complex than that. It's more open than that. It's more serving. So, when we talk about relationships, and I often will using mine as a reference point, I'll bring it up. If it's not your cup of tea, hey, I understand everybody ain't gonna rock with it. That might not be your show for the day. I try to do a good job of really putting in the description of what the show is going to pertain to. And for the most part, it's just stuff that I've been thinking about all week. That's why the podcast is called the Heavy Thoughts Podcast, because it's heavy on my brain. My name is Heavy, and it's my thought process. Double entendre. Your boy does it again. Can I get an amen? I love it. Thank you, Mr. Drummer. Thank you, Mr. Drummer. Please go take 5. Go take 5. So, yeah, I'm in this place. I'm in this space, and I'm in this headspace of just really creating and loving how I do and what I do, and that's what keeps me coming up here. So again, sub for last week. My apologies for not getting it to you. Family time is always going to be more important, because without them, without the people that give me the capability and freedom to create, to my best ability, I'm never going to be in the best headspace to do what I need to do to show up for y'all. So I appreciate them. Round of applause for my family for just giving me time for me. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are amazing and beautiful and all of the things. All right, so in true top of the year fashion, again, I don't like talking politics, but this is something that came up in relation to politics that kind of touches a space that I've occupied off and on over the past 10 years, and that's law enforcement. So for those who don't know, and for those who've been living under a rock or just not really tuned in, and I'm not going to get into Democrats versus Republicans, my stance in this conversation is solely and purely from a law enforcement perspective. So an ICE agent that, Trump been sending out the ICE people to come out to primarily Democratic cities and, during the crackdown, trying to lower crime and trying to, deport all the undocumented people, not illegal aliens, just undocumented. And he's trying to get them out primarily in democratic spaces and democratic cities or whatever have you. Not going to speak, again, too deep into that. I got my own thoughts and views on it, but that's not what this is about. This, for me, is what's fucking up the country, right? So if you haven't heard, this young lady by the name of Renee Good, she had her car parked in the road, kind of like blocking off, ICE or whatever have you. And they were trying to get through or whatever they were doing with their vehicles. I can't bring myself to watch the video because, man, I've been desensitized enough from the shit that I've seen just in my own personal career, from dying children, from trying to give CPR to somebody you feel their life slipping away, to seeing people burned alive. Like, I've seen enough to have the mental imageries, that's going to stay in my brain forever, that I'll never forget. So trying to watch videos just to be in the know of it, I can read the stories and kind of get the gist of it. Long story less long. This ICE agent felt like his life was in danger because when approaching the car, words exchanged, and she eventually tried to drive off, to which the ICE agent fired several rounds inside the vehicle, striking the young lady and unfortunately killing her. All right, so I don't know, and for the people who out there that know people in law enforcement or that can kind of relate to maybe their own experiences. I've never stood in front of a car that was trying to drive away from me. I'm a big guy, 6 foot, over 320 pounds, solid. I'm a big dude. But I can't even stand in front of a Mini Cooper without getting my shit rocked. So for me personally, and again, I'm older in the game. I'm not trying to be out here on team. I gotta stop everything and catch everything and do I'm not in that headspace. I'm not one of these young gunners that's out here trying to prove a name for himself. I got some experience with me. And I know that certain situations and certain instances, you can't beat whatever's coming. If you go to a shootout with your handgun and they got ARs, my guy, pack your shit up. Go sit in the corner. Go sit behind a motherfucking engine block or some steel cover. Not concealment, cover. Law enforcement people know what I'm talking about. You need some shit that's going to stop bullets because you don't have the firepower. Now, if it's just you versus them and that's all you got and you're in a bad spot, hey, you got to get up and make shit shake. But if you have the opportunity to fall back to a place of cover, recollect, come with the game plan to move, then that's what you do. In no way, shape, form, or fashion do you stand in front of a vehicle, do you stand in front of a situation that could be to your peril, that could be to your demise, welcoming it, and then confront it in a manner when you have an access or means of escape. So based on the brief parts that I seen of the video, literally him pulling on the door handle as she's trying to drive off, and that's when I saw him pull out his firearm, and that's why I stopped the video. Now, for anybody who says I'm wrong, by all means, chime in and let me know. But based on the verbiage and the words, and even the own body cam that was re-released, oh, here's a better angle. Here's what the officer saw. Listen. Don't need to see it to know that this motherfucker was in the wrong. I'm not going to get on the tangent of what the Republicans are saying, the vice president and the president and the goofy bitch over the ICE and all of that shit like that. I'm not going to get into them trying to demoralize this young lady and her life and reducing her to a domestic terrorist. I'm not going to do that. That's not my ministry. That's not my cup of tea. My beef is with the motherfucker that works for ICE. Here's my problem. Here's my fucking issue. They don't understand that when one person in any form or branch of law enforcement that has to have real interactions with the community, they don't understand that when they fuck up, everybody looks bad. See, I'm gonna put y'all on game on something. White people, listen to me good. Y'all ever be somewhere, and it's okay. You can answer the question in the privacy of your own home. No one's going to judge. Unless you're in an interracial marriage and your partner can hear this, then it might be a little bit of judgment. White people, y'all ever be somewhere and you see Hispanics or Mexicans or black people or Indians or whatever have you, and you see them acting in a way that in your brain feeds the idea of what stereotype they might be emulating. And then you look at that collectively and say, yep, that's how they all act. That statement right there is my direct feeling as it pertains to what the people that's going to view law enforcement as, like, oh, that's how they all act. When one person fucks up, all of us get lumped together. All of us get wrapped in it together. And I put back on the fucking badge because my dream job came like fucking 3 months too late. So I got to ride the wave and, hopefully that motherfucker come back around. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm putting on the badge, I'm putting on the gun, I'm putting on the uniform, and I can look like these motherfuckers, but I'm not them. So when I go to neighborhoods that's heavily Hispanic, pulling up in my state vehicle, motherfuckers is running out the way. I get out of my car. Oh, hi, son. No. I'm here for one person. I'm not here for nobody else. I'm here to see this individual and then rock on about my business. That's the closest. If you ever, as a white person, if you ever wanted to know what it feels like to be a person of color or a minority group or whatever have you, go into law enforcement. Let somebody do some dumb shit that fucks it up for everybody, and then go around people that say, "What do you do?" and then let them ask you all the questions because they think that you know them, right? They think like that's that idea of, well, you walk into a room full of people that don't look like you, and where are you from? Oh, I'm from Atlanta. Oh, I have a black friend that's in Atlanta. Do you know John? They call him Man. Atlanta has over 4 million people. I don't know. Well, you got to know him. You guys favor. You kind of look alike, and I don't think we do. I don't know him. Well, what about Katrina? She's a fine young specimen. I see her on the basketball courts, and just that shit. When you work in law enforcement and somebody fucks up, that's what it is. I got to answer why a cop or an agent or somebody did something in California, in Texas, in Wyoming, in Iowa. I don't know black people that intentionally moved to fucking Iowa, but I know that I got to answer if somebody in law enforcement does something stupid, because clearly everybody wears the badge, everybody quote unquote bleeds the blue. So you got to know what he was thinking when he pulled his firearm and shot that woman in a fucking minivan as she was trying to drive away from her. It's on me to know this shit. Do you hear how stupid that sounds? Do you hear how ignorant that sounds? That's my frustration with the whole ordeal. If you're going to put on the fucking uniform, understand that you're not putting it on just for you. There's a lot of ICE agents out there that really want to do a good job, and the rest of y'all slow, goofy motherfuckers saw that you can get a $50,000 sign-on bonus. It's like, oh, I want to round up some people. I want to throw on my Wrangler jeans and my boots, and I want to go get some people because, America. My guy, slow down. Fucking relax. Take a breath. Jesus Christ. You can't be so gun-ho for a job that you lose sight that, and unless you've been in the field long enough, there was a bar in this movie, I think it was Pixar. It's called Ants. And the grasshoppers be fucking with these ants, right? The grasshoppers would come to the ants, and the ants would work all year long harvesting their food for the wintertime so they can have enough. And the grasshoppers were like, yeah, bitch, we pulling up, and we going to take this shit. And the ants was like, oh, we'll just give it to them. They're bigger than us, and they're stronger than us, and da-da-da. And then one of the grasshoppers, the lead grasshopper, he catches some frustration because one of the ants stood up to him, and he was like, "Yeah, that one ant stood up to you," and he was like, "Yeah, it's just one ant." And then the guy was like, "Yeah." So he throws one of the grains at him. He said, "Did that hurt?" And he was like, "No." So he throw another grain at another grasshopper. Said, "Does that hurt?" He was like, "No." He said, "What about this?" Kicks open the top, all the grains hit him, and he was like, "The ants outnumber us 100-1. And if they ever figure it out, we're done." I don't know how many people know that there's not a lot of fucking cops in America. Let's say for shits and giggles, it's 2 million people. 2 million people in all branches and sources and avenues of law enforcement. That's police from NYPD to LAPD to Houston County to Miami-Dade. Let's say it's 2.5. We'll make it an even 3. 3 million people in law enforcement, right? There's 8 million people in New York City alone. There's 8 million. You get to do what you can do as your job because people allow you to. It's not a secret. I can do my job regardless of how big I am, regardless of how strong I am, regardless of what I think of myself. I'm afforded the opportunity of doing what I can because in the back of a lot of people's mind, they know that if they break, I got help, I got support. Cool. That's for that one individual. If the other 6,000 in the neighborhood decide, nah, we ain't gonna let it rock, fuck him and his 200 coworkers. I don't know when last y'all checked the movie 300. Great movie, great picture. They had an angle where the people can't get past, so their numbers don't account for nothing. Motherfucker, we be out in the streets. You imagine a neighborhood or a city of people getting pissed off with their local law enforcement. Try to go get Chipotle when the city mad at all of y'all. Try sitting in line at Chick-fil-A or try going to the Subway and getting a sandwich or just be on your way going home. And you got a city not fucking with nobody in the group, nobody in the clique, none. Fuck all of them. Red, white, black, blue, green, purple, yellow. It don't even matter. We want all. Fuck all of them. There's nothing you can do. You can't do anything. You'd have to start eliminating people at a high clip and rate. And then you also got to factor in, I don't care how well packed firearm you are, you can only carry so much. You can only carry so much on your person. And then you're at the mercy of whoever has more. And because they don't come to your house, no, you go to theirs. People don't come to the police department to get their problems fixed. No, they call law enforcement and say, hey, you need to get over here and fix this. This ICE agent puts a lot of people that work in ICE in a bad situation. ICE agents that's not even in Minneapolis. Somebody can get fucked up because one person thought he had the right to make himself a victim, to make himself in the way and get active with a fucking woman in a soccer van. It's wild. Again, this is not a politic thing. This is not a red versus blue thing. This is a human thing. Bro, you killed somebody. I don't think people really understand what it means to take a life. There's a certain part of your brain you have to turn off to become a more evolved version of you, because humans, it's not in our natural DNA to be monsters, to just go around killing people. That's an adaptive trait that people pick up for resources, for power, for things that in the grand scheme of things don't matter, because we all on this same blue fucking marble together. So if China ever felt the need to throw a nuke and fuck up somebody over here, and then we return fire back, and it's literally going to be fucking Armageddon. Everybody going to be smoked. So what was it for? What was it for? What are we doing it for? If we as a people don't start finding some common ground on how we can live together in this bitch, I don't see it rocking that much longer, which is unfortunate, because if you asked me 5 years ago, how would you feel about the world? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck, let me be inside somebody so I can be coming and going at the same time. That's my thought process with it. Let me be inside some cheeks so I can be coming in her and going from the world at the same time. But now I have a daughter, and I don't want it to be such a level of pandemonium and frustration and war and all this other goofy shit. I couldn't imagine hearing sirens going off indicating that something's coming, and it'll be to our country's shores in a matter of 10 minutes, and I'm 45 minutes from my daughter. Because even in a moment where you can survive that, she might not. Or I may not, and then I have to wonder, how is she going to function? Is she going to be okay in my absence? A lot of people getting drunk off this fucking power. And I stand by the idea that people who act like this goof fuck in the ACE unit or federal whatever, people who never had power, that's how they act. I've worked with motherfuckers that be on that bullshit where it's like, yeah, I got the gun and the badge. You're going to respect me. Respect is earned. You got to give respect to get it. They going to do what I say. That's not respect. That's fear. But again, fear only goes so far, because when a motherfucker realize, like, I just choose not to be afraid. What's your next move? Because if they're not afraid, if that one inspires two and that two inspires a few more, then that few more inspires 100. Now it's you versus 100 people that don't give a fuck, that doesn't recognize your authority. And now you just up shit's creek without a paddle. I really want people to start understanding that we are all in this shit together. Like, we're all in it together. That's what it is. It's not meant to sound pretty. It's not the kumbaya, because I promise you, I give a fuck less about most of these motherfuckers walking this planet. But I understand that somebody somewhere affords me the opportunity to eat the freshest fruit. or the vegetables, regardless if it's genetically modified, because, you think you have strawberries until you go to a country like, the UK, or you go to Portugal, and you're like, why do oranges taste better? Oh, because it came straight from the tree. Didn't go to a factory first. I got you. I got you. It's not lost on me that a lot of things that I'm allowed to do came from the people that came before me, and also the people that are working with sinking step in how my life plays out. For the things that I can do for self, for the shirt that I wear. I can't make a shirt. Can't make the pants, can't make the boots, can't make the shoes. But shout out to the people that do. And I'm hoping that whatever services that I provide the world, somebody can benefit from that as well. Be it a dad joke when they're having their low moments, be it a sense of inspiration and motivation first thing in the morning, be it a podcast that just a guy that is as normal as they come, voicing thoughts, views, and opinions just to let people know that you're not alone in your way of thinking, and you can't be afraid to think. You have to be willing to share your ideas, your thoughts, your views to somebody just to see if someone out there understands where you are with it. But, so with all due respect, rest in peace to that young lady and her family, to the ICE agent. Fuck you royally. You have fucked it for a lot of people, and my thoughts and energy goes out to the people that actually do the job correct, and I hope that they're not hurt based on the actions of few. So with all due respect, go fuck yourself. All right, I know that was a little heavy. But in lighter news, come on, get them applause going for the Carolina Panthers, baby. Come on, keep pounding with it, huh? Keep pounding with it, huh? Carolina Panthers up in this bitch. So, for the people who don't fuck with sports, first off, football is not a sport. It's a way of life. And if you don't rock with it, go fuck yourself to, basketball season's in full swing. After the first Sunday in February, you don't have to worry about football until at least mid-August, late July, early August, mid-August, whatever have you. But this, for the first time, I want to say in like 10 years. Because the last time Carolina Panthers, was making a ruckus and kind of getting things popping was when I was living in Atlanta. And, man, to be a Carolina Panther fan, going to the U-Bar surrounded by them fucking Falcons. Oh, my God. Real shit. Real danger. Real danger. But we did it. Even though the refs tried to, fuck up the game for us. For those who, if you haven't seen the game, just atrocious calls, missed calls, calls that didn't exist, that didn't happen. They wanted Tampa to really, clinch it all and whatever have you. I can't speak to the gravity of it. I just know that I ain't seen that bad level of refereeing since they had the replacement refs. When the motherfucker looked up, one saw the ball go inside the uprights for a field goal. One said it was good. The other one said it was no good. I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, yo, can we bring the professionals back? I understand they striking for more money or whatever, but nigga, this is ridiculous. Like, we tune in to see some good shit. But the Panthers did it, Shout out to the Falcons who beat the Saints that allowed us the opportunity of clinching the division in the NFC South. Panthers will have home court advantage against the Los Angeles Rams, and we've already beaten them before. So I know people out there, it was a fluke. Nah, we beat the brakes off of them when we beat them. And man, if you in the city of Charlotte, hey, I need you to be careful. There's a reason why I went to the cigar bar tonight. I usually hold off. I'm like, maybe I'll catch it on Saturday. But I live in Charlotte. By no means and no stretch of the imagination do I want to be in these Charlotte streets when the game is going on tomorrow. don't want to be out because it's going to be the first time in like 10 years that Carolina's in a playoff. We clinched the goddamn NFC South, so we the NFC South champions. We there, and it's gonna be a time. A lot of people outside. The game is here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's gonna be a lot of shit going on. And me personally, I can't wait to just be sitting in my house, dodging and ducking my daughter, throwing pillows and baseballs or whatever at me, and trying to watch the game. I want to be in the comfort of my own home, just vibing. So shout out to Carolinas. Hey, we here. We here. Now, I don't know how far we go, but just one playoff win, especially against the Rams, smells delicious. I'm excited. I am truly excited. All right, I can hear the vaginas out there drying up. You can relax. You can relax. The football talk is over. But I digress. I will take a moment and speak on something that I heard. Well, maybe Kev on stage can explain it a lot better. Since my Atlanta audience wants to hear something as it relates to like relationships. Kev on stage, give me a second. Let me pull this up. Let's see here. Get the audio.
It's also on the internet. It said happily married people will always gatekeep. Right, hold on. Those are the things they do. You'll call the women pick-me's and the men's simps. And it's true. I get called a simp all the time. And I am. I'm simply in love. I'm simply happily married. I'm simply with my best friend, the love of my life. And what you call me don't impact me. And I learned that before social media. I remember in a marriage class at my church, I'm talking about year one, I had, shared that Melissa paid the bills. Because I had paid the bills by myself when I lived in my own apartment. But when we got together, it was my bills plus her bills plus the house bills. And I was getting flustered. I was like, ooh. And I was like, listen, I'm going to just put the money in the joint account. You take care of the bills. She was like, bet. And she did it. I remember I was talking about that. One of the deacons was like, you ain't no real man if you don't pay no bills. That was the first simp. You ain't no real man. You ain't no real man if you don't pay the bills. When I came back from Nam, I paid all the bills. And I said, yeah, you right, Deke. And went home and did exactly what I was doing. Because the truth is, what worked in his household, worked in his household. What worked in mine, worked in mine. Now, you talking about people, me and Melissa, who had a podcast called The Love Hour about love and marriage for years, wrote a New York Times best-selling book about love and marriage, and
all right, all of that. Long story less long. Thank you, Kev, on stage. Long story less long. I get why a lot of people gatekeep their happiness. I get why a lot of people don't expound on their process. Because realistically speaking, a lot of us don't want to argue with you bitter motherfuckers. For real. Like, prime example, if my life works for my liking, why would I tell somebody who's not a part of my day-to-day the inner workings of my life? Because they're just, curious? Why are you curious? I don't ask people how their life works. I accept them for whatever and however they show up for themselves and how they show up to me. That's it. Because how people do life is none of my business. Unless I'm trying to be a part of theirs, how you do life ain't got shit to do with me. Respectfully, it don't. And now that I know that and I have a healthy appreciation for that, and then I found some semblance in it with my own life, yeah, I'm not arguing with you niggas. Y'all are terrible. Absolute garbage. I hear the shit that y'all say to each other out here in these streets about how women ain't nothing but bitches and whores, and how men need to get your hair done, nails done, everything did before y'all even go on the first date. Like, this whole shit, relationships in general is transactional. I don't do things or involve myself to be a part of people's lives that I can't benefit from for them and they can't benefit from me. It's transactional. It's give and take. But somewhere down the line, these motherfuckers just lost their goddamn mind and went completely like, nah, see, she got to be, top. She got to be top model bad and body got to be crazy. Sir, I hear you. I do. But you're asking for something you first can't provide. Well, he got to pay all of the bills. He got to do all of the money. He got to do this. I need Birkin. I need this. I need Steak 48. I got to have Hard Rock Casinos top floor. Ma'am, you're asking for something you can't provide. Now, if you can provide that for self, cool. If you can do all the things that you want or that you need from somebody else for yourself, cool. Here's the kicker to it. A lot of people want a lot of shit, and they want their people to have a lot of shit before they do the romantic tango of the hearts. But here's the fun part that they don't tell you about, right? There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but what you want gotta want you back. I'm gonna say it again. There's nothing wrong with wanting what you want, but what you want has to want you back. You can say to you blue in the face that you gotta have somebody that's a top earning, top 1% of all things financial. That's cool. That's great. I'd shoot for the motherfucking moon. However, if by that stroke of logic you got to have it, and if what you want don't want you back, now what? Because see, that's kind of where that's kind of where a lot of people lose. They build these lists and this idea of shit that they think they want in their heads. And then the shit that they think they want, if it don't want them back, now they're trying to either make everybody else bitter or trying to make everybody else frustrated. One of the funniest shit I see is these incel motherfuckers that be like, all women are whores, they're OnlyFans models. I'm a good guy. You need to come in here and love on me and make my breakfast and do this and do that. Really? So yeah, all women are whores, and you want a good Christian woman to come in the house and tend to your needs and your wants and your desires, and that's all cool. But here's the problem. The dudes that talk like this go after the same whores that they're trying to, disgrace. Like, yeah, you don't need to be fucking with OnlyFans models. Meanwhile, they in OnlyFans models inbox. Yeah, I got like 2 million followers, so you might want to come over here and goofy shit. Goofy shit. To the ladies, I try to stay out y'all business. Large reason because I'm not a woman. Never been one. The closest thing to me being a woman is my daughter because she's half mine and she's a girl. I don't pretend to know y'all shit, but I will give you some non-solicited advice. Manage your expectations accordingly. Manage your expectations accordingly. Because a lot of y'all find ways to hurt your own feelings. Won't listen to what the motherfucker said, won't view his actions. Y'all just be like, I'm here, so it is what it is. You'll lie to yourself. Dudes don't even have to lie no more. So my whole point of bringing this up is I'm never going to tell you exactly how happy I am in my life because honestly, it's none of your fucking business. I will give you my thoughts, views, and perspectives, and you can do with that what you want. But the true essence of what makes me tick every day, you'll never know that because it won't make sense to you. It won't make sense to you to tell you how I move in my house with my family or how I move with my friends and the people that is closest to me because it won't make sense. I got big dreams, goals, and ambitions, and I can't explain it to small-minded people. And that's what that is. Like, a lot of y'all small-minded, and that's cool. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my area for me. A lot of y'all claim y'all want this happily ever after, but you're doing everything to have the once upon a time. You don't want to leave that first page. You once upon a time I met a person. I thought there was this and I thought there was that, and they ghosted me. Once upon a time, I pulled out the money. I got her this, I got her that, and then she never talked to me. Once upon a time, I busted wide open for this guy I thought I really liked, and he never spoke to me. All of y'all stay in this once upon a time. Y'all don't take time to really learn the story of who you are before you start involving other characters in your story. And for me, that's weird. It's very strange, but to each his own. So that's my tidbit on the relationship talk. I ain't telling you shit. Go out and figure it out for your fucking selves and do what works for you. I don't care how nobody else does it because nobody else is showing up and paying your bills. No one else is showing up getting you out of that fucked up situation. If your car goes tits up, no one's coming through to do the plumbing and the HVAC. Nobody, everybody got opinions, but nobody got action. So do what works for you, and I promise you, everything after that gets easy. But you ain't gonna take my word for it. You know, a lot of y'all motherfuckers hard-headed and won't listen. But I digress. So, joke of the week. Now, this one might rub a lot of people the wrong way, but me personally, I don't give a fuck because it's my thoughts, my podcast, my viewpoint. Joke of the week. What do you call a book club that's been stuck on the same book for years? Huh? You call it church. One time. I like it. That's the joke of the week. And, you know, again, that's the one that I felt like got the most buzz. A lot of people really like that one. I was going to tell the other one, but literally there's a video. My daughter laughs at everything. Did not laugh at that joke. That's how poorly it went over. And while we're here, we might as well do the cigar of the week. Now, I had one of these. It was in the tuck. It was a gift. It's called a Aganzonora Leaf Connecticut Toro. That's AGANORSA Leaf Connecticut Toro. It is a flavorful medium body because, you know, I can't fuck with the dark like that. I don't want to taste it for the next 4 days. Now, there are some darks that, you know, blend well and do nice. And shout out to, again, my guy DG. I'll probably be able to come back on and show my face, and I can have a cigar while potting. That's gonna be so much fun. God, just don't let the smell stain the walls. I don't have time to get in trouble for that. So yeah. And yeah, that's the smoke of the week. That was the cigar of the week for me. And again, if all goes well, I will be back live on YouTube. The video will be up and popping. You can see my face while I record and all the bells and whistles and see why I take it so seriously and how I take it so seriously. So that's going to be the game plan for next week. And we're going to go ahead and round things out with the unknown, unsung hero of African American history. Today we have Miss Alice Coachman. She was the first black woman to win an Olympic gold medal. She won the high jump in 1948 Olympics, becoming the first black woman to win any nationality to win any gold. To win gold. So she's the first black woman of any nationality to win gold. I don't know why I typed it like that, but, you know, I got it together. Why was she overlooked? Her achievement was overshadowed by the segregation era media that rarely highlighted black female athletes. Shout out to you, Miss Alice Coachman. You are celebrated here on the Heavy Thoughts Podcast. Much love and appreciation to you, your courage, and your sacrifice. May it never be forgotten. May it be a lesson learned that people can take and prosperously share with the world. So may you never die. May you live in the thoughts and minds of the people that come there after you. And I bring up her largely in part because it's almost the Winter Olympics. And I'm gonna say something that might not be popular. I like curling. Like that shit is just fun to me. Like it's fun to look at. It's fun to watch. It's like sweeping ice to control the balls where it's gonna go, and it's like sled kettlebells that you just roll in, and anybody can do it. They got one here in Charlotte. At some point, I'm gonna check the motherfucker out because again, it's got me excited to do. And that's the show. Yeah, I'm sorry if it was a little too heavy in the beginning. Again, Carolina Panthers, we here. Hopefully we can finish strong. You got the Rams, so we'll see how that goes. And we got the cigar of the week, the black historical facts, and just other thoughts and views. If you want to have me speak on something or just hear my thoughts and views and perspectives on it, please hit me up at heavymac@outlook.com, or you can hit me up on my socials. Sir Heavy Mac on TikTok, Heavy Mac on IG, or you can go to my Facebook fan page. It's just Heavy. Yeah, that's it for me. Congratulations on making it to 2026. A lot of people didn't make it. The guy from The Wire and one of my favorite shows on Netflix, The Residence, he was the police chief in that. And he was known for having the longest like that was the guy. He literally passed a day before the new year. So shout out to you for making it into 2026. We're going to keep this thing rolling, keep this thing going. And most importantly, thank you for being here. And always keep in mind that with heavy thoughts, enlightened minds, I'll see y'all next time.
It's heavy, baby.